adjust my robe when I step on earth, or rest at home, or ruffle the waters. My clothes and this lofty air at times lift me over human dwellings. And then cloud's power bears me, far above folk. My dress rustles loud and whistles, sings clearly when I am far from flood and field. A flying spirit. Now we shall honour Heaven Kingdom's ward, the measurer's might and his mind plans, the work of the glory Father as each wonder, eternal Lord, the origin established. He first created for the children of men, heaven for a roof, holy shaper. Then Middle Earth, mankind's ward, eternal Lord, after created the lands for men. Lord Almighty. Listen, I will speak of the sweetest dream, which came to me in the middle of the night, when speech-bearers slept in their rest. It seemed that I saw a most wondrous tree, raised on high, wound round with light, the brightest of beams. All that beacon was covered in gold, gems stood fair at the earth's corners, and 5 more on the crossbeam. All the angels of the Lord looked on, fair through all eternity. That was no felon's gallows, but holy spirits, and men over the earth and all this glorious creation gazed on the tree of victory. Then proclaimed Naph, the battle-young king, "This is not the eastern dawn, nor is a dragon flying here, nor here does this hall's gables burn. But here they bear forth, birds screech, the grey-coated wolf bays, the war-wood clashes, the shield answers the shaft. Now the moon shines, wandering under the clouds. Now woe-deeds come to pass, which this people's hatred desires to fulfill." Lo, praise of the prowess of people kings, of spear-armed days in days long sped we have heard. And what honour the athelings won, oft shields cheffing from squadroned foes, from many a tribe the mead bench tore, awing the earls. Since erst he lay friendless a foundling, fate repaid him, for he waxed under welkin, in wealth he throve, till before him the folk both far and near, who housed by the whale path heard his mandate, gave him gifts. A good king he. Often the solitary one finds grace for himself, the mercy of the Lord, although he, sorry-hearted, must for a long time row by hand, along the waterways, along the ice-cold sea, tread the paths of exile. Events always go as they must. So spoke the wanderer, mindful of hardships, fierce slaughters, and the downfall of kinsmen. Often I had alone to speak of my trouble, each morning before dawn. There is none now living to whom I dare clearly speak of my innermost thoughts. I know it truly, that it is in men a noble custom that one should keep secure his spirit chest, guard his treasure chamber, and think as he wishes. I sing this song full of sadness, this song which is myself. I will tell what I am able, about the hardships I have faced, since I grew up, recently or long ago, never more than now. Always I suffer my misery of exile. First my Lord departed from my people, over waves rolling. I had grief before dawn, thinking of the lands which held him, my people's Lord. Then I set out, a friendless stranger, searching for his retinue because of my grievous need. Relatives of this man began to plan, through secret thought, that they would separate us, that we, as far apart as possible in the kingdom of the world, would live wretchedly, and me longing. I can make a true song about me, myself, tell my travels, how I often endured days of struggle, troublesome times, how I have suffered grim sorrow at heart, have known in the ship many abodes of care, the terrible tossing of the waves, where the anxious night watch often took me at the ship's prow. When it rocked near the cliffs, fettered by cold were my feet, bound by frost in cold clasps, where then care seethed hot about my heart, hunger tears from within the sea-weary soul. This the man does not know, for whom on land it turns out most favourably, how I, wretched and sorrowful, on the ice-cold sea, dwelt for a winter, in the paths of exile, bereft of friendly kinsmen, hung about with icicles, hail flew in showers. There I heard nothing but the roaring sea, the ice-cold wave. At times the swan's song I took to myself as pleasure, the gannet's noise and the voice of the curlew, instead of the laughter of men, the singing gull, instead of the drinking of mead. Widsith came to talk, unlocking his word hoard. He who had travelled furthest across the earth, among men and tribes and peoples. Often he had prospered on the hall floor with agreeable treasures. From among the Meergingers his lineage sprung, he with ale-hilt, an unfailing peace-weaver, for the first time seeking the home of Hrethking, east of the Angle, of Eamon-Rich, the angry breaker of covenant. He began to speak many words. I have heard tell of many men ruling their tribes. Every prince must live according to his customs. One earl after another must govern his homeland. He who wishes to prosper upon his princely seat, Hwalla was one of these, best of his time, and Alexander most powerful of them all, of all mankind, and he thrived the most of those who I have heard of across this earth.